pavers are a very, very, very popular way to lay a patio where we live in Mobile, Alabama. And I wanted to show you this one that I'm sitting on right now. This is one we just finished for a client very recently. I wanted to talk to you about how it goes in and then the details about how we designed this one. So the way that a patio like this goes in is they actually dig down. This looks like it's flush with the ground, and it is when it's finished, but before the pavers go in, which are about 2.5 or 3 inches thick, before that, the contractor will come in and scrape down, pull out dirt, add crushed limestone, sand, and then put these pavers on top. So you got quite a depth here, and that's what creates that super solid surface that's not going to be bumpy and move around the way you might have seen old paver patios. Maybe you've seen an old brick patio and it's kind of moving around. A lot of times it's because it wasn't properly given that base that it needs to really create that good solid surface. So they did that here, and then of course they laid the various pavers. The way that I designed it was in a way that to make it a little more interesting. It's a small space, and I wanted to make sure that there was just some visual interest. When you're just using 1 or 2 different kinds of pavers, it's easy for it to just look like a big paver patio, right? So we wanted to give a little visual interest here. So we have the paver. These are the exact same type of pavers on either side here. This one's running vertically, this one's at slightly an angle, and then we have a third paver here that cuts through. It's an edger paver, but it creates this space that we have over here that's actually a fire pit area. So we've got these kind of 3 different patterns going on that adds that visual interest. And then finally, the things that the contractors will always do when they are finished with laying all the pavers and all the sand and all the under, the stuff that goes under, again guys, that prep is always the most important thing, is they come back through and they put poly sand. Now poly sand is a brand name, but it's a polymer and sand mix put together so that when it is swept in, they get it wet with some, they spray water on it, and then it sets. So you're not gonna have, it's supposed to stay longer than a regular sand would. So you've probably seen that you can put sand in the cracks of a paver, or you could put mortar. This is like a balance between those two things. It's a happy medium. You're not gonna get the cracks. It's supposed to move around a little bit, be a little more elastic so that you don't get the cracks in here, and then you're also hopefully not going to lose the poly sand like you would with regular sand by just wind blowing and water moving it around. So there's that. Then last of all, they're going to seal the pavers. So this has a solid seal on it so that it will retain its color throughout time. You'll see that sometimes you'll see pavers that have the aggregate showing, or they don't quite have a gloss, they'll look a little dull, and that's when you know it's time to reseal and get it going again, because that's what they always do at the end of a job to make sure that they are going to last for a really long time. So if you guys have any questions about this design or about pavers, you guys comment below and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.